I'm CJ Peterson of cjpetersonwrites.com, and welcome to the Treehouse. Today at the Treehouse, I'll be reading a book called Curious George and the Puppies. I have a couple special guests who like to join me in whenever I read. Their names are Chief and Sarge. You may know Chief and Sarge from their website and from their different adventures that they have throughout the world, the real life adventures. They can be found under the handle of @CHIEF, the letter N, and then SHRGE. Allow me to introduce you to them. This little guy is Chief. He's a fun-loving, sweet little cuddly koala. He is the big brother to Sarge. Sarge finds himself in quite a bit of trouble that Chief usually helps him stay out of. Chief eats kind of healthy. He enjoys the finer things in life, like eucalyptus leaves, but he's pretty laid back. Then there's the ornery little bugger, who is a sweetheart as well. This is Sarge. Sarge was our first one to be adopted, and Chief was our second. But Sarge loves to find himself in trouble. As a matter of fact, the slogan for these two is that the mischief is strong with them. And it is. You can, like I said, enjoy their adventures. Their handle is @CHIEF, the letter N, Sarge. They are on Facebook, they are on Twitter, and they are on Instagram. Now to our story. Curious George and the Puppies. This is George. George was a good little monkey and always very curious. One day, George went for a walk with his friend, the man with the yellow hat. When they sat down to rest, they noticed a tiny kitten peeking out from under the bush. The kitten looked frightened. "Perhaps she's lost," said the man with the yellow hat. Together, he and George searched the park for the little kitten's owner, but the kitten was all alone. "The kitten is too young to be on her own," the man said. "We need to take her to the animal shelter where they can care for her and find a home." So George and the kitten and the man with the yellow hat drove to the animal shelter. The director of the shelter was glad to see them. "It was good of you to bring the kitten here," she said. "We'll be happy to take care of her." "Come in," the director said, "but watch where you step. We have a large litter of puppies, and one has gotten out of his cage. We're still looking for him, so please be careful." She closed the door quickly behind him. George gave the kitten to the director, and he and the man with the yellow hat walked inside. George had never been to an animal shelter before. Animals of all kinds were being cared for here. George saw bunnies, cats, and turtles, and guinea pigs. He even saw a snake, but he didn't see any puppies. "George, I need to sign some papers," said the man with the yellow hat. "Please stay here and don't be curious." Now, we're going to stop here for a second because Sarge is a very curious little guy. He identifies with George quite frequently. And of course, by my shirt, it's a monkey thing. They are curious, and we know George will not be curious. So let's see what kind of trouble he can get into. Just as the man with the yellow hat left the room, George heard barking. Maybe it's the puppies. But where was it coming from? George was curious. Of course he was. He followed the barking noises and found a room full of dogs. There were yellow dogs and spotted dogs and sleek dogs and fluffy dogs. There were quiet dogs and yappy dogs and even a dog without a tail. But where were the puppies? Then George saw a little wagging tail, then another, and then another. Once George saw the puppies, he could not take his eyes off them. He had to pet one. Here was a little puppy. The puppy liked George. George wanted to hold the puppy. Slowly, he opened the door. But before George could reach the puppy, the mother dog pushed the door open and was off like a shot. George tried to close the door after her, but the puppies were too fast. There was absolutely nothing George could do. Uh-oh. The puppies were everywhere. Puppies hid under the desk. Puppies barked at bunnies. One puppy played with a telephone cord, and another climbed on top of the cage to watch the others get into mischief. You know, that kind of sounds like you two. Soon all the dogs were barking, the cats were meowing, and the bunnies rustled in the corner of their cage. "Oh no!" cried the director as she and the man with the yellow hat rushed into the room. "Now all the puppies are out!" The man with the yellow hat helped the director gather up the puppies and put them safely back in their cage. Soon, all the animals settled down and were quiet, except for one, who was still barking. It was the mother dog. What was she barking at? There's nothing here but a door. There must be something on the other side, thought George. He opened the door. It was the missing puppy. Everyone's happy to finally find the puppy. The director scooped him up and said, George, you certainly caused a ruckus. But if you hadn't let the puppies out, we might still be searching for this little one. I guess curiosity has its benefits, huh? Then she gave the puppies and their mother a snack. Dogs love snacks. Delilah can attest to that. These puppies are now big enough to go live with families who will take care of them, she said. Do you want to take one home with you, George? Oh, I think she asked the wrong person. But guess what? George did. So thank you so much for listening to Curious George and the Puppies. Stay tuned. We have a lot more books to read. And stay tuned to Chief and Sarge, too, and see what kind of mischief they can get into. They kind of sometimes make George look a little tame. Until next time, we'll see you on the Treehouse. This is CJ Peterson of CJPetersonWrites.com.